Hello, in this tutorial we will learn how to send Gmail using NodeMailer and NodeExpress. For this project we will use backend as a NodeExpress, and in frontend we will use React. And so let's start. Before going to the code, let's have a look at the project structure. Here is a two folder named frontend and backend. Frontend is in React and backend in NodeExpress. And frontend, if you see the package.json file, we have if you see the package.json file, we have installed a package React Router DOM for routing purpose, and there is a folder in src. Here index.js is the entry point and route.js for routing. Here we can see that there is a input two component, one from core folder and home file, and another is from the mail folder and mail file. And we have defined two routes. One is home routes, home, and another is the send mail routes. And we can see that there is a two folder, core and mail. Mail having a file mail.js, we will see this later. And the helper folder contains, we will create some file to communicate with the backend. And in home and in core contains one file and one folder. It is the home folder, it is the home file, nothing is in that. And this is the helper, no problem. And if we see the backend, in package.json we have used Parser, course, .env, express, NodeMailer and NodeMon. And there is a two folder named routes and controller. Routes folder is for basically defining the routes, and controller is for the callback function of the routes. So let's jump into the code. If we see the file mail.js, under the mail folder we have defined a React component named mail, and we have used use state, three state: message, user mail, status. And we destructuring them, and we use a handle changed, handle submit. And there is a form, we define a form, enter email, input type text, value user email, and on change, handle change, user email, and on change, handle change, message. Okay, let's check that form. Send to mail. Yes, we can see in the form. And if we type something, let's check that form. Anything, yes, we can get the value. Okay, let's jump into the backend, and we'll come to this later. First of all, we finish the backend, and here is a two folder named routes and controller. In here I will define a route. Before that, create a new file name. Sorry, it should be okay. I will create a file mail.js, and we will input express. routes express dot router, and here we will define a post route. Routes dot post sentinel. For the timing we will define nothing here, and module dot export, we will export it and we'll do routes. Now we will create a file in controller name same name mail.js, and here we will define a function, callback function of that routes in export dot sentinel response, okay, console.log request body, okay. Now in app.js is the entry point of that in that server, and here we will define, we import that route, const mail require dot slash slash routes slash mail released and dot use. So thing is that the whole URL will be localhost 8000 /API /sentmail. That is the sentmail, and we will import that sentmail const sentmail now. After this, okay, and we will work on front end. Now we will work on front end. Through front end we will get that value through the form, we will get that value, and then we will through the and that value will be request to the server, and for that purpose we will create a full file name in helper mail.js and mail.js create a function export const sentmail data return page, will send the request to backend http :/localhost 8000 /API /sentmail. We will send the post request, and method will be this one. Method will post headers will be headers will be an object. Accept application /JSON content type, will be application slash JSON, and body will be JSON.stringify data. Okay, after that then receive response, console.log, return that response. Return that response in catch. Console.log error. Okay, and we'll export that function into the mail. Export it. Now export it. Import from /helper/mail, and function name is sent mail, and we'll call that function here send mail, and we'll pass the data user email and message dot, then data dot error, it's success data, and we'll set values, and status equal to true. Okay, dot catch, and we'll write console dot log sentinel. Okay, by this we can send a request to the backend, and here we can say backend is running totally fine, and content also. Now we will send some request to the backend, anything. Okay, let's see if this is it or not. Okay, it is undefined. Why? Oh, sorry, it should be request response. Request response. Oh, this time will work. And here we are able to receive the Just now we'll work in the backend. Here now we'll use the NodeMailer. Just first import the package const NodeMailer here. Now import that NodeMailer package const NodeMailer require NodeMailer. Let's have a look at the documentation of the NodeMailer. We can install it using NodeMailer, and then we create call the function create transport, which is return an object, and we have to pass the object to one object also, transporter and transport. Okay, let's do it. Okay, before that I will store that with user mail equal to volume user email. It should be user email. What I have to set. What I am sending. Our email. It should be user email and delete. User message case dot body dot message. No, it should be message. Now it create the transporter. Let transporter equal to NodeMailer dot create transport, and we'll pass the object. Let's see what to do in that object. Transporter, yes, host, port, secure, and what for Gmail. We don't need to send all the parameters. Instead of we set the service Gmail, then it will be fine. Okay, no problem. And let's do that. Service Gmail and sudo user and pass. Now here, for some security reason, it passes for password. I will not reveal that password to anyone. That's why we'll use a package name .env. It is basically for environmental variable. Here you can see the env package. Here we already define a variable port. Same way we'll define email and password. It's email. Let's email equal to project test4020 @gmail.com. We will pass that process.env .email, and for pass we will pass process.env .password. Okay, we have created the transporter object. Now we have to send the mail. For sending mail, transporter.send mail, and we have to pass data and callback. Data defines the message. Let's see what should be the message. message and should callback function error and info. To variable error and info, and in message configuration we can send from to comma separated list of array ccc bcc subject text html attachment. We can send anything here, and there is an, let's copy that. Okay, and now message from should be this, and to should be this user mail. Subject this is that string, text, and text should be user message. I will not send HTML for now, and now we will call the transporter object. Transporter dot send mail, and will pass the message and callback error info. Error and info. If error, if something error has happened, console log error sending mail, comma error, and we will return and response status 400 dot json. Sending mail error, and in else that means success console.log successfully sent mail, comma info, and we return dot json message info. Okay, now let's okay, let's there is any error or not. So one thing, any changes up in environmental file, after that you must have to restart the server. Since I am using Node1, it is automatically restarted. Restart and do the once again. Node1, okay, no error here, and in front end there is also no error. And before, and one thing, to use Gmail you have to on the mail you have to turn off the less secure apps. Here you can see that you have turned on the less secure apps. You have to turn on this, otherwise you will not able to send the mail, because Google uses very much secure, that's why. And okay, let's send the mail. Test 720 gmail.com, and message will return it. Send the mail. Let's see what happened. Yes, you successfully sent the mail, and as we can see that we got the mail. This is the test. As we can see that we got the mail. Now send another time. Turn it. Second time. Turn it. Second time. Yes, we sent message successfully, and we can see that is we got the mail. So we have done this. Thank you.